Bob's not here, and so we have a quorum. Let's see, Alan, you doing a roll call?
Yes, sir. Sutter. Here. Bixler.
Here.
Poe. Here. Holder.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
we have a quorum. Okay, item number 3 is approve the minutes of the previous meeting that you should have in front of you. And looks like our last meeting was on February the 11th. How about that?
I move approval of the February 11th, 2020 meeting.
Okay, it's been, motion's been made to approve the minutes of February 11th, 2020 meeting. Do we have a
I
second?
can second that.
Been moved and seconded. Roll call.
Sutter.
Yes.
Bixler.
Yes.
Holder.
Yes.
Poe. Yes.
Okay. Item number 4 is, does any member have reason to enter into executive session at this time? Ed, you have any?
No, unless Neil wants to.
I don't,
Todd?
No, sir.
No.
Okay.
None for me.
Okay. All right, let me catch up here. So that moves us down to item 8. Item 8 is any discussion on action regarding the infrastructure expansion. So it's been a long time since our previous meeting, and I don't know, Neil, do you have any updates on anything? I haven't been told of anything, so.
no, we did take some money out to Avard, and they looked at it, and for our benefit, they have contracts with UP and Burlington Northern for evacuating old lines and rebuilding and stuff like that. So he was looking at refabbing rail ties and things like that out of the park. And at this point, we haven't got a call back from him, so.
That's been, what, a couple of weeks, Neil?
Yeah.
Okay. Any other members have any comments on infrastructure expansion at this moment?
The only comment I have is we still got that framework out there. And we haven't decided what to do. We have some insurance money. I got a hold of that Stetson Vor and told him I wanted to take him out there and look at it and see if he could come up with a plan. Either use that or pay us for the framework. But I do not, I've never been able to take him out there. Our schedules haven't aligned, but I would like, he's looking for business. He's pretty innovative. He might give us the same answer that Mr. Erickson did, and Mr. Erickson's more experienced. But I would like for him to look at it, and I think he'd be pretty aggressive if we could get him out there and show it to him and tell him what we were thinking. And I'll try to do that in the next couple of weeks, unless somebody else wants to take him.
What, and I may be able to do that. I may be able to get a hold of him and take him out there. What was the measurements of the pad in the building? It was 100 by 150 or something like that?
Seems like.
See, that's 15,000 square feet. So that may work for a company we talked to through Commerce today. And then they wouldn't have to relocate when we build the final one. Just a thought, somebody put that in my ear, I wasn't even thinking about it, but Darren mentioned that. So,
Well, we do have, of course, venture on that property. So we'd have to, I mean, there'd be a lot of things we'd have to work through
right,
before we, not sure how that would work. May have to do some shuffling or something, or maybe the building needs to be moved, I don't know. But I know we have the pad, we talked about several things, about another structure. And of course, there's pros and cons on, you know, it's not really even fair to talk about a building like that on a day like this.
I think that's how we lost it.
Well, yeah, we lost it because a day like this, that someone didn't get the door shut, and there you go. And they can be metal buildings, and doors get left open, damage done,
But my goal is, and this is just as a member, have something done by the end of the year, one way or the other. We've talked about this for 2 years.
yes.
I either want to take it down or get it refurbished or whatever we're gonna do to it, move it. But I think it's kind of an eyesore. When you take people out there, I don't like to show them, well, this is our building that blew away. I'd like to show them something that we've repaired or it's not there they can look at.
What, I'm not familiar with Stetson, what's his, he's a builder, Ed?
Integrity.
Okay,
A lot of grain bins and things like that. too. Not coming from there.
well, I think that'd be a great resource to so maybe between you and Neil, why? Run him down there and get his thoughts, and there we go. Okay. Any other thoughts? Gonna move on to item number 9. Still there, Todd?
Yes, sir.
Item number 9. And I don't, do you have the financials in front of you, Todd?
I do not.
Okay. Well, Ed, I guess it's up to you.
If you have questions, I can probably try and answer them.
I always enjoy hearing Todd explain about those accruals.
So,
Must have been one rail car coming in June.
Yep.
Now, what I'm looking at, I don't see where a rail car came in June.
Well, I was looking at the June 20 where it's got, oh, that's the lease, I'm sorry.
Yeah, they did pay the lease money.
The last rail car I see.
That's what it said. There
April.
April was the one.
had one in March, one in April.
And we don't know of any that's coming in June, or do we, Neil?
I was thinking they had one. But that may have been the April one, so I'm not gonna be concrete on that. I know we did get their land payment.
And since we met, it looks like TIF also paid us,
Yep.
on the right line, $27,000 more dollars, along with 68, so we're at maybe 95,000. 68, maybe in I'm looking wrong, 66 in January and
Yep.
27,000 in April,
Yep.
or like 93 or 4.
Well, it looks like for the year, 100, just right over 100.
Yeah, guess we got a little bit more even in June. Every month we've gotten a little bit.
Yeah, 319 this month.
5,500 in December. So that's been very good to us.
Todd, do you know off the top of your head anything we need to be aware of, discuss, since we haven't met since February concerning the financials?
No, sir.
So I guess our accruals have been accruing and we made all of our payments and everything's good.
Neil, help me read this. What's our current liabilities? Is that 173,895?
Current liabilities,
Yes.
Like all those debts we have to
Mhm.
AEC and GoBond and the banks. Am I looking at that right?
Right.
liabilities, total,
173.
total life, yeah,
173,895.
yeah.
And we've got 339,000 in our checking account. But part of that's in accruals, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
So without the accruals, how much do we have? Guess I'm trying to figure, are we debt free now or getting close?
Getting close.
It's basically 97 in accruals. And then 142 in maintenance, insurance claims, so there's 2 there.
I think the only thing that we owe on right now is the land with the red leg and the bond. If I'm not mistaken.
You think Bank Central's been paid?
Yes.
We've got the money there to pay them in full?
I think she's accrued basically the money to pay that red leg. And most of that bond, but I don't remember how much you set aside to pay each year.
Just look at that GO bond, if I'm looking right, it looks like we still owe 18,750. Yeah. The AAC, we owe 46,000.
And we've got 60,
Long-term liability, another 108.
From AC, we haven't accrued.
So that we have that amount accrued
Yeah.
right.
already. And then we have accrued 18,750. We have both of those, I mean, are basically already accrued the way the financial readings are. The only one would be that AARPA, which we have 51 accrued there. I don't see it on the liability side. Actually, I see.
No. Well, the checking, Ed, it's the actual accrues out, is that the 79,188?
Okay,
Is that,
maybe that's
That's
other
our-
than the accrual.
yes,
Okay,
is that correct?
looks right to me. But we owe, total liability is 173, so we're about 100,000 short of
That's,
being in the black.
That's the way, because the accrues have came off right out
Right, they come
off
out
the
the
173. Okay, I think that's a fair assessment.
But that's not, I mean, and that 79 is not accounting for your other funds, like your repairs and maintenance and that insurance money and stuff, that, you know, that's
That-
separate.
Yeah, that's just spendable
Yeah.
money in the checking account.
I move we approve the financials.
Second that.
Okay, we have a motion made and a second to approve the finance statement, financial report. Roll call.
Sutter?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Bixler?
Yes.
Holder?
yes.
Okay. Okay, item number 10 is any action regarding the audit for Willie Meyer. Neil, what do you got on that?
Stacy, you want one?
Yeah.
Is there
So I
any,
pulled at the financials, and you asked the question, which was in the bank, it wasn't income, did you figure that out?
we think?
79,188.74.
Yeah, we were pretty good. Oh, is this different?
We're paying attention to you, Todd.
And Todd, we owe 173, right, the total liabilities, so
He gave us the one.
we're in the red about 100,000. We've come from like 4.5 million, so is that the way you,
That's correct.
so we get a couple of those unit cars in, we could be setting pretty good by the end of the year.
We hope so.
Usually Randy talks to those venture guys. I haven't asked him about that, and I think they're having, do you know, Ed, whether, I mean, I assume they're doing quite a bit of road work. So, okay, Neil, do you know what we need to highlight here? Or-
I do not, nobody said anything to me on the audit.
I'd make a motion to defer this to the next meeting unless there's some urgency, so we can at least look at it a little bit closer.
Okay. A motion on the floor to defer the audit till the next meeting. Do we have a second?
Second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve to defer the audit, table the audit till the next meeting. Roll call.
Sutter?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Bixler?
Yes.
Holder?
Yes.
Okay. So we will table that motion. Item 11. Oh, no, wait, that is for the audit for the next year.
11.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Item number, we're on item number 11. Okay. Neil, you have any concerns or thoughts on item 11?
We just need to approve whether we're gonna rehire her to do an audit for the next year.
Well,
Do you have any reason not to do that?
No.
Has she given us a figure, how much she'll do it for, and how does that compare with the past?
No, I do not have anything on that. Shelley puts these together, so I've not been given any information on that.
I think we should, I'll make another
Mark.
motion to defer that until we know what the price is compared to how much it was last year, and give us a chance to review the report.
okay. That's a motion, right, in?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do we have-
Second.
Okay, been moved and seconded, roll call.
Sutter?
Yes.
Poe? Yes. Bixler?
Yes.
Holder?
Yes.
Okay, item number 12, and I assume this is an insurance with ACO.
Yeah.
Neil?
And I do have information on that. Basically, we just need to approve it. We can write the check later. It doesn't have to be there this instant. But by July 10th, it needs to be to them.
Is there any rate increase or anything?
It was $28,009 for this coming year, total layout. And that's liability and property. And then we've got to sign this and get that to them, which is, we can send that to them right away. And we can also send a check for the.
I was gonna say, will we meet before the 10th? We won't, will we?
I don't think.
Second Tuesday, I didn't know.
Do we know how much it was last year? Just curiosity.
And we can look on the financial statement.
You ought to be able to see. I was also looking out for the.
Looks like 2,776.
Where do you see that?
Is that a monthly fee?
No.
I think on that second page, it says rail lease, land lease insurance, 23,680.92.
Yeah.
Is that it, Neil?
Yeah, that's
What it was last year?
what it was last year now. This does not, let's see here. This, on this invoice that they sent us, there's two payment options. And you mark which one you want. One payment due on July 31st, or two installments, July 31st and January 31st. And of 2809.
28,009.
Nope, 2,809.
Is that for E&O insurance?
Cause that, yeah, it was 2776.
So here's what I've got.
Unless they change that, we could make a couple of payments and it's not cost us anymore. Is that still the way it is?
How we been doing in the past, Todd? 2 payments?
I believe so, and I don't think there was any charge for that second payment. I'd have to look back, but I think that's.
What's the other, is this the only one you have?
Yeah, this apparently is from Sand Ridge, from Megaland. I thought it was a policy, but it's not. So this must have been something we got from Sand Ridge.
Okay.
I mean, we can take them out there.
Todd, what's your preference at this time? On the ACO insurance? Still with us, Todd?
Yes, I'm sorry, what was that again, on the
Well,
insurance?
I was just curious your preference on the ACO insurance. You want to take the option to split it, or what do you recommend to the board?
This is the ACO?
That's what it says here. ACO SIG for FY 2021.
That's what,
That's about gotta be the errors and omissions policy, doesn't it? I mean, it says liability on
What,
it.
now, wait a minute, I'm confused, because the ACO, the last time I knew, was, the only thing that we had was liability insurance with ACO. And the other, for the rail park, came from a different company, not ACO,
Okay.
unless it's changed. I'd like to, if, I'm sorry that I'm not there, I obviously misunderstood the meeting, but, if there's a chance that we can table that, I'd like to have a chance to look at that if we could, unless you guys have studied it.
I think ACO is associated with the county commissioners of Woods
Right.
County.
Correct. But the only thing that we had on, that was for our liability insurance to the county. And the only real property we had with them was the building, of which they paid that claim for. And the last, I thought that was substantially less than 23,000. That 23 or 20+ thousand was what we used to pay for the rail liability insurance that we got out of Texas, the agent out of Texas, because he was the only one that could find it.
Okay, so this is just straight liability insurance then, Todd, is that what you're saying?
Right. That's what I thought.
I think
didn't
there's
recall it being
10,000.
that high. If that's what it was, I just missed it, and I didn't think it was that high.
Okay, I mean, just the main thing, I guess, in my mind would be that we're covered.
On there.
You guys are looking at it, so it's not, is it rail liability, product liability, or is it just as
It's just-
Liability and property premium, we
For
got
our-
10,000,
liability for our board?
but it does not say how much we have on the property. But it's liability and some property.
Would be the same thing we had last year then, let me take a look
Yes.
at that.
So what's this 23,000 that we pay for rail lease insurance? 23,600.
That's on the rail park itself. And the
Todd.
rail.
Yes.
And that's the
Okay.
only company that.
Liability premiums $1,737, property premium is $1,072. With a $10,000 deductible.
Do we have property down there that we need to insure since that building is blown away?
Well,
I mean, we got the rail, I understand.
yeah,
Can we insure
But I
that?
think the
As
rail
far
is
as I
on
know,
this.
that's the only thing, and I don't think they're insuring it, they've already paid that claim.
okay, I missed that, say that again, Todd.
As far as I know, that is the only real property that we have is that building
Right,
that they paid us for in its entirety after the deductible. Therefore, I'm pretty sure they are not going to pay us again.
so are
So
you,
basically, it looks to me like we need to go back to them and say, hey, we don't have any property insurance, we only need a quote for the liability portion of it.
Okay, when, can you tell when is that due, or,
July.
July 10th.
well, I mean, when, is that when our coverage ends?
No, let's see. Say, actually, the payment's not due till July 31st. This document's due July 10th, and then the payment's due the 31st.
Okay,
But it doesn't say when the coverage.
well, if we have time, then I would assume we probably ought to table it, and then Neil, you can
I'll find out.
find out what they're actually covering, and,
If it's that building, I'll probably make a motion not to continue with that insurance. But-
Changes.
yeah.
Some other-
Find that out, Neil, when you're
Okay.
checking on that, if you don't mind, please. Okay, so shall we, someone make a motion to table this till the next meeting?
Yes, I can table. I was just thinking if we could make a, you know what I mean, way to.
You want to pay the
Well,
liability?
Yeah,
I
pay the
don't
only proportion if they'll take the, property part of it off. That way we don't have a lapse in coverage on the liability, but.
we darn sure don't want to have a lapse on the liability.
But if our payment isn't due till July 31st,
We're covered till then. Is that what you?
No, I agree with that. I'll make a motion to table.
Okay.
second it.
Been moved, motion's been made and seconded to table this item till our next meeting in July. Roll call?
Sutter?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Bixler?
Yes.
Holder?
Yes.
Okay. Item,
Well, anyway,
Go ahead.
our other board meets quarterly, not monthly, so that's why I was confused. I'm like, well, we won't meet, but anyway, that makes sense to table.
okay.
We're good.
Are you both on the Winoka Industrial Authority?
No, I'm on Woods County Economic.
Oh, figured you'd both be on the Winoka.
No.
All righty. There's certain credentials to be on the Winoka Industrial.
I realize that.
Not very much, but something. Okay, item number 13 is our executive director report. Neil?
Well, being going on the second or third week, we don't have a lot. Of course, Todd and I were with a individual we took to the park, which I told you about, and hopefully they'll be contacting us and wanting in. At some point, we'll have to get together and decide what the land lease and rail charge is gonna be. He has several places where he does this, but the way he talked, he was very excited about our location and the Burlington Northern's access. Was very, very good for him, and they will be generating some electricity off of their operation, which the transmission line is right there. And so he was interested in being right, fairly close to it, to tie in. And then we talked to another company today, Poe was on the call through Commerce, and there's a possibility that if we can locate that company here, they're gonna lump rail and have a significant employment, 250 people. And what they're gonna be doing is making nitrogen pellets out of waste food, vegetables, and that kind of thing. So anyway, that's the only. Well, the other thing is we've got to figure out a way to get fiber optics out by there so that we can, these companies are all wanting that kind of communication. So, some way we'll work on that too.
Neil, where we at on, I know turbines are starting to, they wanted to start to move by June 1st, and then I think they've deferred that till September 1. Is the park going to be a part of any of that, or do we know at this?
The rail park,
Yes.
it shouldn't affect us.
It won't assemble any of those turbines at our park, or there's no chance?
It's my understanding there isn't.
They're gonna be trucking, and we haven't been contacted
No, there's,
for a laydown. We talked to them early about that, but
our best deal, Ed, would be if they would buy rock, naturally. That's our, this cash generator as far as that project down there. And I know they're trying to decide on the type of rock. And there's many options. There's many options where to get it from. They're not very far from Enid. There's several things that's going on, and so that's our best hope, is that Martin Marietta may be able to sell us some rock.
For the concrete portion of it.
Yeah. Is that how you understand it, Alan? If
Yeah,
you got
I was
other-
told that there's another, basically a gypsum company's already been awarded the rock for the roads.
Yeah.
So what they would be looking at possibly would be the aggregate for the concrete.
So
Would Venture possibly be involved, or any possibility?
I think just local truckers to haul it. I don't think, this, and I don't want to get into commissioner business, but I mean, they're working on a road agreement with the different products, what to use, where to use it, and all that. So that's down their alley. And they realize that, anytime a truck pulls out of Martin Marietta, that's good for this rail authority. So, I think that's all we can hope for at this moment anyway. Of course, the West project is totally off, and the leases have been canceled, and so Woods County's gonna get a little bit of it.
Looks like.
Well, I read, or somebody sent me something that said Martin Marietta are closing on Friday. Is that because of slowdown of business, or just trying to become more efficient, or?
Well, what was it? Wasn't that just at noon or something, Ed, on Friday? I'm trying to remember. I got that message. Was it the whole day Friday or not?
I thought it was a whole day, but it
Okay.
might have just been till noon.
Yes. I don't know that it is. There's still, the 5/8 rock, as you well know, has been a godsend for this rail authority. And there's more, everybody that uses it likes it.
It's good stuff.
It's good stuff. It's being used on roads. It's being used in corrals, all kinds of settings. So I think it will continue to be popular. It's, hoping that Venture can get some contracts that need some of that specified rock, is what we need to hope for, in my opinion, on that.
But Venture probably won't be able to make those pads for those turbines. That's not likely.
Not the way I understand it, no. It's more of a dual-leasing kind of a deal.
It's a deal, it's like a lot of things. You throw your hat in the ring. Sometimes you get picked and sometimes you don't. And it's a highly competitive environment with people that have professionals that have certain levels of expertise with certain products, and you get those situations going sometimes, even if you can offer them a better deal, they don't always want to switch because, number one, they're signing off on it to somebody up above them, and they know this other thing's worked. And I'm generalizing, but those are some of the obstacles that we've encountered on that project. Okay, Neil, back on, let me ask you a couple questions because I wasn't able to be there today. When's this guy, what's his timetable? When's he said, because you've met, that's been a month, or close to it. I remember when Todd called.
It's been about, at the end of this week, it'll be 3 weeks.
How did he leave it? He's like say, I'm gonna get back with you in a week? 2
No, he
weeks,
didn't set a time. What they were gonna do is get with Rob Graham. His guys were gonna get with Rob Graham, they were gonna figure out what they needed for rail coming in and how they could, come off of, where it comes off at the beginning,
Mhm.
how many feet they'd have to come off before they could turn and bring their rail cars in. Because he thought it was 300 feet. Of course, we didn't have a clue what the specs were. And so they were supposed to have their guys get with Rob. They were going to go over all that because they can build what they need a whole lot cheaper than we could hire someone else to do it.
But have they got with Rob Graham or?
That, I don't know.
Like, does he respond to you? Have you
Rob?
make calls? No, this guy.
He hasn't responded to this point.
Okay.
But that could be because he's extremely busy. I don't know if he's not interested or.
Okay.
Well,
I'm not
has he
trying to-
responded to you, Todd?
No, and he has not talked to Rob as far as I know. But
Well, these things I
I had
change.
talked to this guy 4 or 5 months ago. And I called him and nothing. And then when he showed up, he called me the morning that he wanted to go look at the barn. And so we went down and looked at it. Neil and I went down there, and he was extremely positive, just like Neil said. Neil described it extremely well. And we had great discussions, acted like it was all go. And he was wanting a deal on that day. And I was not willing to give him any numbers. First of all, he knew that we had to go to the board that I or Neil could not negotiate for this authority. Right? No negotiation. All I could do was throw out some very large ballpark numbers to see if he was interested in some ideas. And so I asked him to get with Rob Graham, and just like Neil said, his people get with Rob. Because Rob is our engineer, we needed everything to go through him as far as what the wind's going to be and so on and so forth. And I talked to Rob last week, I think, one day, and he had not talked to him at that point in time. I reached out to the man several times, and he didn't reach out. So I am not saying that this is a cold lead. What I'm saying is it's just going to take some time.
Sure.
I think when he's ready, he will contact us back.
But this is the individual.
Anything that we can do right now to entice him to come here or to push him to come here, I think it'll be on his terms.
Yeah. In this, the person, Todd, that you talked with, like way back in the beginning of the rail park, didn't he have a little interest or something, or?
There was a different guy.
Okay. Same company,
I've only
or?
talked to this man that I can remember, which obviously I've got Alzheimer's, but the only time that I can remember is 4 or 5 months ago. We had a nice conversation about it.
Okay.
And he was lowballing at that time as far as a per car charge.
Sure.
And Todd, correct me if I'm wrong, Burlington Northern sent him to us, right?
He got our name through Burlington Northern, and it was because of the certified site that I believe that Burlington Northern sent him to us. But the lead did not come through Janet Black, who is our regional representative.
This appears to me such a good fit, and I don't know a whole lot about it. But if it took some incentive to get him here, and because of our position now, if it's a legitimate company and they would stay for a period of time, I would like to do something to encourage them to come this direction.
I feel the same way. It's just trying to figure out what that something is without throwing the baby out with the bathwater.
Well, we appreciate your efforts. I know you were busy that day and made a rush effort to get back up here to show it. And I appreciate all your work on it, and just let us know if there's anything that any of us can do individually. Okay.
But I'd like to compliment Todd too, because he has used a lot of his own personal time to work on projects more than probably any other member. And I think sometimes we take him for granted. So since he isn't here, I don't mind complimenting him.
You want to make that into a motion, Ed?
Well, if he'd have brought candy like he normally does, I would.
Well, I'll agree, and well, the whole board agrees. So we appreciate you, Todd. Appreciate you being online. Neil, anything else?
No.
Okay, item 14, does any member have any new business to be brought before the board at this time? Okay. I do want to say that in closing here that it's good to have you on board, Neil. The board looks forward to working with you, and I think we'll just continue on. And it's like Ed says, when you look at this financial report, getting that debt down to this manageable level is very impressive. So I feel like we ought to also mention something about Sonia at this time, that she is an integral part of this as we all know, from the get-go. The public needs to know that, though. And whatever success that we've had, she's been a major cog in it. And wish she was here, because I'd like to embarrass her about this, but I'm very sincere in the hours that she's put in, and the calls she's made lots of times to board members and things, and to keep us on the straight and narrow. So make sure, Neil, you tell her we appreciate her very much. Okay, any other person have any other comments at this time?
Make a motion to adjourn.
All right.
Oh, yes. Sutter,
Yes.
Bixler,
Yes.
Holder,
Yes.